deficiencies in terms of gameplay. And Liquid always managed to do well with it because Fada is not only super proficient with the hero, but they seem to be very used to playing with the Razor on Fada. Like, they kind of just assume he's going to win the lane, and most of the time he does. And they snowball with it pretty hard.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those weird heroes that doesn't give you... It's very well-rounded, I feel. You know, it's not very good at one thing. It doesn't give you a massive amount of burst damage, can't flash farm amazingly, doesn't have any big sort of team fight abilities or anything like that. But it's decent at everything, and like you said, Fanta is incredible on the hero. But NiP ban out the Ember Spirit, Team Liquid get their hands on the Winter Wyvern, one of the best, if not the best hero against Wisp combos. She's got a ridiculously high win rate against Wisp in general, and also Wisp Tiny, so Liquid not worried about the Wisp Tiny combo here from NiP.
You know, I've recently been led to believe otherwise, though. I think this transition of knowledge is actually happening right now, where people think Wyvern is not really the best counter to Wisp, but more of like the easiest counter to Wisp.
Okay.
It's kind of like the Witch Doctor to the Wisp +1 relationship. You know, like most of the time, if the Witch Doctor's there ready for the relocate and he can cast, it's a devastating cast because it's gonna bounce, it's gonna stun 2 targets in like 4 or 5 seconds, and you just let it rip with the Death Ward and look at it go kind of thing. But with Wyvern, it's just so simple as just 1 click, and you can of course Arctic burn multiple targets as well as Splinter Blast, which is a huge AOE slow. It's again, it counters what the Wisp Tiny can do in certain situations. But the reason why the Wisp Tiny or Wisp +1 is so strong is not only the relocate ability, but the heals and just this ability to turn this hero into a superhero and stack at the same time. And in terms of gameplay, I don't know how hard Wyvern actually counters Wisp Tiny. And it's something that I've recently begun to change my beliefs on.
Yeah, so I think with the sort of resurgence of Ancient Apparition, that's another hero that does decently against healers in general, but also against Tiny Wisps, because you know when the relocate's coming. I don't think Team Liquid necessarily have a great way of fitting AA into this lineup, but NiP, they're going to go all out here. They want the catch from Clockwork. Maybe they even think about, Bane. Bane Wisp has a pretty good win rate together. You've got the setup with Nightmare and Fiend's Grip for the relocate to come through. And you can also kind of bolster Wisp's lack of sort of harassing and laning potential. Obviously, he helps other lanes. He controls runes, he stacks. But Bane can just run around hitting people, using Nightmare, setting things up for other heroes, whereas Wisp, he can't really... He's more of an enabler in terms of keeping people alive on lanes, and especially when you see him moving from like mid to off lane. I think that's where one of Wisp's strengths has been found again. The fact that it's not just the natural 1+1 pairing. We see the pairing, and then we see the additional factors from Wisp, where you move, you help Clockwork. And I mean, the times I've seen Moon Meander play Clockwork, and they've got a Wisp from Crit, running down to that lane, and all of a sudden, Moon Meander goes from, trading hits with someone, going down to low HP, and then he's running into them again 3 seconds later. Yeah. But what is this?
Oh, this is a Liquid classic right here. They've been running a lot of safe lane Embers, a lot of safe lane Necrophos, and a lot of safe lane Wind Rangers on Matumba Man. And this is, again, one of the 3. I think it's very potent. I don't know how good it is per se directly against Wisp Tiny, but I do recognize the potential of what Undying, Necrophos, and Winter Wyvern can do. Wisp Tiny is really strong at times because of its ability to pick fights, especially with a Clockwork. You kind of just choose the initiation, right? But Team Liquid, with this kind of presence coming out of Necro, Undying, as well as Wyvern, you really do have the potential to turn any fight, even if it's like a bad fight where the Queen of Pain and the Clockwork get a really good initiation. They just have a lot of backline heroes and Tombstone presence and a lot of things, a lot of heals. So I can see the direction that Liquid are taking. I think the only issue I have now at this point is that they have no catch with this lineup, because they're investing so much into the team fight with the Wyvern and the Undying and the Necrophos pick, that if they don't do really well in their lanes, I feel like what's going to happen is NiP is just going to start getting picks all over the map.
So as the final pick from Liquid, you want a little bit of catch for Mind Control. I mean, Undying, I think, going to be for Jerax in the 4th spot. Maybe switch it up with Winter Wyvern. Kuroki and Jerax both like switching their heroes up, and actually Night Stalker. That's a good shout.
That would have actually been a pretty good pick. Yeah, I think that would have been a really good as a 4 or a 3. And as it stands, as you mentioned, I'm not too sure what this Undying is going to be playing, because I have seen Mind Control take the Undying as well, and it's not particularly like the most difficult of heroes to play. Kind of. It's kind of basic in that you go to the offlane, you spam decay, try to get as much as you can, kind of thing.
Earthshaker?
And no, I think ES is too weak. I think if they pick ES, they're just gonna lack everything. And that's the thing with ES. Like, even though the damage nerf was very insignificant, he kind of lost like 15 damage throughout all levels. The hero right now, it doesn't give enough. And I think again, I think if they pick ES here, it's just not going to give them enough. I think they want something that's equally as aggressive with the Undying. Tusk is banned out, of course. Something more physical damage, perhaps. I mean, Razor. Pardon me.
Spirit Breaker.
Spirit Breaker's okay. Spirit Breaker's actually okay. Yeah, yeah. Because if they can get on the Queen of Pain or something like that, Wyvern or Necro can follow up with their stun ultimates, and they can burst down a lot of targets. But I feel like they want some like more of a constant value. I don't know. I really don't know what the pick is going to be, but just something constant, something that doesn't have to rely on just the big ultimate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, taking their sweet time about this one. Whereas over on NiP, it's pretty likely that they're going to go for a secondary support. You know, there's still Bane out there. I think that's one of the big ones. But they've got a few options themselves. You know, they could potentially go for something like a Spirit Breaker 4-roll themselves, just go chasing people down a little bit.
Yeah, they could. And Liquid, maybe Disruptor. No. Oh, you know what? They actually went for the Shaker. Wow. Good call, man.
I think, you know, Mind Control, I think two players in particular, Mind Control and Sexy Bambo, have shown that, you know, Earthshaker towards the offlane, obviously there's a couple of CIS teams that do love it as well. You know, DK Phobos, his offlane Earthshaker is still pretty stellar. But it's definitely shifted away from being a support hero, and people now, when it is picked...
Yeah, you run it as a 3.
Yeah, you run it as a 3, for sure, always now, pretty much. But you know, the fact you can control lane equilibrium, bring it back, get yourself experience and gold early on, and you can also control lanes decently, but it's that initiation tool. You know, you're looking for the catch, Fisher, and if you get a blink up on Earthshaker relatively early on, you can just jump onto the Quap. But actually, final pick for NiP is Keeper of the Light.
I think that's a good pick. I think NiP's lineup, if you look at it overall, it's pretty well crafted. I think it's kind of hinges on how much the Clockwork can do early, assuming that the Queen of Pain versus Razor matchup's kind of going to be a wash and sort of a loss for the Quap, because I think Razor does better. But I think the Necro is going to get free farm, and I think that's something you have to accept. So what's going to happen is they really want to be able to shut down this Earthshaker. I don't know if NiP run the Wisp Tiny mid exclusively, or if they kind of rotate between mid and top. But depending on how they do this lane, they definitely want to mitigate the Undying aggression, because Kuroki's probably going to walk around and just decaying like wherever he sees the most heroes, and that's going to be very annoying against NiP.
So with the Kotl, do you think they potentially run the dual offlane here with Clockwork Kotl?
With Clockwork? I think it's a possibility for sure, but I don't think they'll win it. I think it's too much of an investment if they do that, because Clockwork won't get the levels that he needs to like hit that early level 6 power spike, where he can threaten the solo kill potential on Necro as well as the Razor. And I think overall, like Liquid is gonna just exploit them in the other lanes, because Wyvern +1, like Wyvern Necro, can actually fight off Coddle Clock. Coddle Clock is not very strong as a dual lane. It's not the same type of aggression as a Legion Commander +1. So, yeah, and Seal Kid actually has a Quelling Blade.
Yep.
So you know what he's gonna be doing.
Yep. I'm just flagging that one up and showing people where he's heading off to most likely. But yeah, Quelling Blade Kotl. We saw this from, was it AUI at the last summit, wasn't it? Where he had like a
the 10-minute, 11-minute Ags. That was the first of its kind.
Crazy.
They busted out a pocket on that one.
Crazy stuff. But yeah, Seal Kid starts things off already by actually cutting through some trees here. And the great thing is, not only can he farm and stack, but he can build things up for the Tiny Wisp. So Wisp can concentrate a lot more on laning phase and the controlling runes and keeping Tiny alive and fighting, while the Kotl just sort of stacks and pulls and builds up the jungle a little bit. But the way things are looking, Limp looks like he's heading towards mid actually. So he's going to be sticking around the middle lane. Era has been spotted here. I'm not sure this is a rune you want to be going for. Down at bot, Matu. Yeah, same kind of story down there. So Limp trading off bounties once again. Fast to get his up towards the top. And the way things are actually panning out, Era, Wisp probably going to be going up to that top lane, dealing with Mind Control's Earthshaker. But look at this, Kuroki Undying, running himself up to help.
Yep, so he's just going to be really annoying. He's going to just dirty up the lanes, going there, spamming decay, and honestly, I think this Earthshaker Undying dual lane against the Wisp Tiny, this is pretty good. I might have underrated the potential of Earthshaker this game. I still don't know how much damage it'll bring, but if he can get a quick Blink Dagger, there's obviously no lack of damage coming out of Echo, a huge Echo.
Yeah, certainly. Now, Kuroki, he tried to get himself up the ramp. He will actually make his way back and forth. Not sure where he's heading exactly, but Seal Kid and Hanskin, they're both up on top of this ramp. But this is actually forced Seal Kid a little bit further away. Oh, he'll deward. So he'll get rid of that little observer ward with the sentry already. But Sealkid isn't starting things off by just fully committing to the jungle. They want to deal with mind control a little bit here initially.
Yep. Although, I'm not sure how much his presence helps. If anything, I think he's just taking away EXP from Arrow. Although Arrow got level 2, which is kind of what he wants right now. Yeah, like this Coddle is not going to be able to do much to the Undying. He already healed up. He's going to drop a double decay here, and boom. I think the intel supports have to start running soon.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Hanskin, he's got his bottle incoming as well, so that's going to give a nice little bit of sustain over to Era. But, well, we'll see. Down at bottom lane, there's been a lot of bullying going on. Jonas got a fair few hits in onto that Matsumba Man Necro, but Jerax, he's got his Arctic Burn, he can force the Clockwork back, even with those boots. You know, there's no stout shield here, and Cog's actually going to be off the mark there, so Jerax can potentially come in from the side as up atop Kuroki spamming at the decay time and time again, and really irritating that Wisp, forcing him back and down to half HP.
Yeah, honestly, this tri-lane coming out of NiP is really weak. With the Coddle pick, it's a very greedy pick. So, again, I felt that they should have just mid-laned the Wisp Tiny and then have the Quap top. But if they're going to do it like this, they really need to get something done, whether it's like a ridiculous amount of stacks, because this is really endangered territory now against the Undying.
How's mid lane going for them? Limp 10-4 and 6-2 onto Fata. So, you know, in the previous game, we saw Fata actually about a wave ahead by the time it hit sort of 10 minutes in. But this time around, Limp is the one that looks like he's actually in control of the lane for now anyway. But once the plasma field starts being spammed out and lane gets controlled a little bit more by Fata, that's when things swing. Kuroki still being chased down by Sealkid and Hanskin, but this is one hero drawing the attention of two.
Yeah, this is honestly space, and he might kill Sealkid. Never mind, he's not gonna go for it. I think he recognizes that the Wisp Tether is always a potential with the bottle heal, but yeah, like look at this. It's just a hero with boots, strength hero, bruiser type of guy, and spamming decay. He can apply a lot of potential harassment in general. Mind control's not gonna fall. He has the Fisher and
they're diving.
Are they gonna run him down?
They've got the orbs. One more hit. They've got it. Good old dive. Hanskin's gonna trade off his life though. The tower just keeps on hitting in. That final, trying to protect Hell, finish him off. Meanwhile, though, Sealkid chased down. Oh man, Kuroki with the boots. So a 2-for-1 exchange, and that's fully worth it for Liquid, right?
It is, yeah, because look at what happened now. There's a double wave build up too for the side of Liquid, and their carry is basically in need of a dire heal. And Hanskin's not level 3, so he doesn't have overcharge, and I think he's going to get it. And in the meantime, Matuma Man gets the kill on Jonas and Fan, but again, it's a dual lane with a Necro. You're always losing life points as long as you're in EXP range, so it's just going to happen at one point, I think. But yeah, I still think this lane heavily favors Liquid, given how it's going.
And that Sadist from Matuma Man takes him back up to 2/3 of his HP. Treads, great little pickup there. Tread switching with the Death Pulse plus Sadist gives you such efficiency as well. But with Necros nowadays, what do we actually see from Matuma Man? Because there have been so many builds over the days.
I think what he did against Vega the other day was really good. He got a Midas, and then he got the, I'm not sure if he got the point booster or the blink first, but he got one of those, and then he got the other one, so point booster plus blink. And then he got a plate mail. So the inventory kind of looked mishy-mashy, and in the meantime, Sealkid actually gets a top kill at top, so I missed that.
Wave! Look at
yeah,
4 range creeps. Plus Catapult comes in. Kuroki, good decay out, but Era comes in, gets healed up a little bit. He's got mana, he's got stick charges as well. Kuroki tossed into the air, and he's finished off. One more punch from the Tiny. We'll secure that. Fisher will block off a little bit here. They don't get the tower. Middle lane, Fata, no plasma field left, but that...
Yeah, mind control needs to be careful. He might actually die here. He has 3 stick charges on Era, and there's the TP to save him. Oh, there's TPs. Another TP coming out of Kuroki.
And Wisp, he's got Tether in a couple of seconds. He can get himself back down to Sealkid. Looks like they're okay. And Mind Control doesn't miss out that much in terms of experience from the wave. There was a sort of triple wave built up. He misses out a little bit, but Era, I mean, that's ballsy, man. 4 stick charges. He's going to get himself in here. No toss ready for a couple of seconds. Tombstone's dropped down by Kuroki. And that decay is really annoying for them, as Hanskin and Sealkid both on the front lines trying to deal with this. Deny on the tower by the Earthshaker as well. This lane is super messy, but again, we come back to it. It's 2 heroes against 3, and NiP are barely breaking even.
That's what I thought about a minute ago. I think NiP actually is significantly ahead now, because even though the ES got some of the range creeps, he lost a lot of the melee creeps, which are the big bulk of the EXP, and looks like Era's going in for another kill.
Mind Control doesn't die, but Kuroki kills him.
Oh my gosh, that's actually a throw. Yeah, that can't happen.
Where was the Wisp?
He was healing, so I think he was fully aware, or they should have communicated that. Either way, that shouldn't have happened how it happened, because it gave KuroKy kind of like the comeback goal, because he's gonna have mana boots now. And
Besides the bot, Limp TP's in, and maybe to his own death. He doesn't have Blink available. The heal on Samatu will keep him up and running, but yeah, this is something again I didn't really think about. The double heal, Death Pulse plus Cold Embrace. They've got so much sustain, and Fata gets regen rune at bot. Limp would have loved to take that one, but you can't risk just blinking into that rune pretty blind.
Yep, I don't know. This is a it's a weird progression of how the lane went, because again, the ES missed out on a lot of potential, and I think it really came down to KuroKy just not skilling his spells at level 3, and Era is just going for another kill here. This guy is very
good Fissure. Great Fissure from Mind Controlling. Yeah, you're right. He is super hungry for these kills.
I mean, it's nice, because like the benefit to Wisp Tiny is that huge burst damage they get when the Wisp tethers in with his spirits, as well as the burst combo from the Avatos from the Tiny. But it's too much, because he's missing farm for it, and he should just sit back and farm for a bit. He got his level 6 now, so his damage is even more, assuming that he's gonna learn Grow next. And yeah, there it is. So you can just keep doing these kind of things, but take it a little bit slower.
It's a similar transition again with the term, with last hits, with farm and everything like that. Matu is free farming down the bottom lane. Like, he doesn't have a care in the world. He's got 2 kills to his name on top of his 45 last hits. Fata regained control of this middle lane as Limp is jumping around looking for runes. Just to, it's to give him that edge. I think he focuses very, very hard on getting, a DD, a haste, something to give him that kill onto the Razor. Just because he knows that the Razor's going to be sticking around and is going to get more and more difficult to kill as time goes on. But net worth, Quap 2700, Tiny 2200. I'm looking to the jungle and there's no stacks. There's nothing built up for either of these heroes to go back and say, well, our lanes didn't go excellently, but we've got something to fall back on here. The pressure that Mind Control and KuroKy have applied has been pretty insane.
Yeah. I think Matuma Man getting free farm is really a big deal, though, because the more he gets free farm and the more kills he gets on Clockwork like this, the harder it becomes to kill him. And Yonasan fan, you can see the result is that because of his 2 deaths, he's so close to level 6. If he had level 6 there, that would have been a kill on the level 4 Wyvern, and he would have probably gotten like level 7 out of it as well. So these things, like how the lane goes, really changes the dynamic of the follow-up plays. And Kuro just trying to be an absolute nuisance here to sap EXP from Seal Kid. Little does he know, if he just drops a tombstone, he's going to ruin his entire life here.
He's going for it.
They're going to contest. Seal Kid might die. Oh, he recognized it fast enough. Yeah, he has a ward there.
He gets himself out. One zombie, but Fata comes in and he can start clearing this up. So once again, control of the enemy jungle. This is what we see around 10 minutes, close to 9 minutes here from Liquid, but it's the same every time. They don't get an observer ward placed too deep. They've got one watching over this this medium camp here, but they're just securing their own farm while limiting the farm of their opponents. And this is what they're really great at. They don't make flashy plays. They just play solidly and make sure that their opponents are shut down at any given opportunity they can. And they're also stacking up their own jungle. Jirax and Matu clearing through some decent stacks of their own. And Matuma Man, 2,000 gold. So the Blink Dagger you mentioned, potential here. The Midas he would have picked up already, but he can start jumping himself around looking for kills and actually being active early on.
Yeah, again, I'm not too sure what option he will opt for, but this is complete free farm for Necro. This guy's got almost 5k net. He's got 5k net worth before 10 minutes. This used to be a standard before the creep bounty nerf. Now this is just really, really good farm. So very nicely done by him. Of course, he has the 2 kills, so that helps him a ton. But 2.4k gold, and the other build that Cloud9 introduced back in the day was the Rod of Ados Necrophos build, and that could very well be a possibility this game as well. Because if they get that, they could play super aggressive with the Undying.
What about, Mech used to be a decent build on Necro. I'm not sure, because we're seeing...
It is. It still is. Yeah, it's still okay.
A lot of teams kind of ignore Mech nowadays.
Yeah. I think it's a mix of multiple things. It's that because the meta is so based on all these strength heroes, right, that require no extra mana aside from just mana boots or a magic stick, and a lot of them just have difficulties managing the mana with the mech. But I think if there's a mech buyer, it's KuroKy this game. Even then, I'm not sure if he's gonna buy it. I think he would much rather go for like a 4-staff or a Glimmer Cape.
Yeah.
Mech is still definitely a good item, but it's certainly overlooked for decent reasons.
Oh goodness, Fata, this Razor ran into the enemy jungle. He's gonna get stunned up here, and with Limp Sonic Wave, they should be able to kill him, right? But they turn it back around. They've got a Tombstone, he'll get taken out, and KuroKy, Necro, Reaper Sword, not gonna do enough. Ira's healed up and Hanskin keeps him up and running while Sealkid and Jonas on the back end looking for Jirax now. There's hookshot already used. But
Drums, Matuma man.
did he? Oh wow.
Drums of endurance.
Interesting.
This is not the item.
He saved up, close to 3,000 gold and buys himself drums.
Come on. Yeah, this is like an item that I think he's just throwing away a portion of his lead. It's not nearly as effective because now when you pick up the drums, it's not for stats anymore. It's for that plus 25 endurance attack speed when you cast it because the 6 charges, it's really, really good. It's like giving everybody a glove of haste plus in the fights. But Necro is definitely not one of the heroes that exploit that. If you wanted to do this where you wanted to fight, I think he should have just gone for the Route of Ados. It would have only cost him 1k more, and in his inventory right now, he has 1k.
Oh, Jirax. Oh, dodges the avalanche and now actually turns to the Arctic Burn. Good damage back onto Hanskin. Are they looking to fight this? Fisher will block him as well. He has a tether. He has a tether to jump back and will get himself towards Ira.
No. Oh,
Decay. Oh, but the Splitter Blast still doesn't get him. Hanskin, skin of his teeth, gets himself out of that one.
you know, if he just soul ripped him, he would have died for sure. Because there's plenty of units there with the tombstone, and it would have done way more than 100 damage. Instead, he went for the decay, and I don't even know if the decay would have killed him at that point. Honestly, that was a pretty big misplay, and a really nice recognition of the tether target from NiP, of course, Hanskin. His Wisp is just playing really aggressive right now.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of aggressive, they've jumped into Jonas here, but look at it in from the side. They're coming from behind, and Era's going to catch two of them. Kuroki's trapped, and they'll get 3 for nothing. They come stamping through from the enemy jungle. Past the secret shop and take a couple of good kills. And I was looking at the net worth thinking, okay, Matu up at the top with nearly 6k. Fanta's Razor was 4.5. But then you look at the rest. It's NiP. You've got Winterwive and Earthshaker down at the bottom. And this Earthshaker, you know, you said very early on that you weren't a big fan. And I thought that it would give them the lockdown they needed. Maybe control the lane a decent amount. But mind control, 1, 4, and 0. This is not the Earthshaker I've seen from him before.
Yeah, it is a lot tougher these days for the Earthshaker. But again, he had a pretty good lane scenario, I feel like. I don't know, like with the early aggression between him and Kuro, I think they misplayed the lane, and I think they're gonna feel the same way, because you could see that those Intel heroes alone were getting zoned out by the Undying. So it just became an even scenario where if you just spam Enchant Totem, you might not only harass the Tiny, but you get CS. And you won't kill the Tiny because there is a Wisp, and you have to respect that bottle heal, but I don't know, man. It became very messy, and I'm not too sure what you point out at this point, but you have to recognize that your tower's dead and their carry is farming. So that in itself is an urgent sign.
Yeah, and then you look at Jonas's Clockwork, who went from having a pretty awful lane to begin with, then getting into level 6, he's made full use of his hook shots. He's now sitting level 8.5, nearly with a 4 staff on top of this. And Limp towards mid, nearly got killed off, but his Orchid is coming up quicker and quicker. He's already got the first Oblivion Staff, and look at this. Liquid, they seem very desperate to get into the enemy jungle, but there's no one there. They've got 2 wards watching for stacks and people farming and moving themselves around. Era fully realizes this, even with the TP coming in. They've got the Wisp from the side with a relocate. Mind Control doesn't catch a sniff of it, and he's going to walk himself forward looking for the Fisher. They see Hans going to put the relocate out.
Oh, they almost... Oh my gosh, yeah, that
They're
was
taking
almost
bot.
double kill.
They're actually going to go on Matu. They've found the Necro down at bottom lane. They will keep Era here to look for the kill, but Matuma Man, he's got plenty. Death Pulse in a couple of seconds, but it's not enough. Buys the Blink Dagger at the last second. They lose the Wisp back up at top as he relocates back. But good movement from Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Did you see the Fisher at top? If he hit the Fisher while the relocate was going off, that was a double kill on top with the 3 heroes converging on them. And Matuma Man would have solo killed the Clockwork for going in like that. That was a really close engagement. It was so close, that Fisher. It actually just just caught the edge of the tether there, but man, that was close.
Super tight. Now Mind Control, he's down at bottom lane, but the rocket flares are flying out. I'm not sure. They can't quite see him. That was very close on the edge, but oh man, Era. Quelling Blade up, cutting through the trees. They know he's in there somewhere. Not quite sure exact. There we go. They see him now. Mind Control. TP's coming in to try and help, and that's Matsumba Man on the Necro. Jumping forward with a blink. 4 staff back as Jonas gets the cogs down as well. Matu very far forward with the amount of NiP heroes around. That could have been dangerous, but up at top, Queen of Pain, he's got his eyes on Fanta's Razor, and they're 2v1 here. And there's a bunch of heroes down at bottom lane. They're going to oh god, they're TPing everybody. Fanta, time to TP, time to run, time to hide. Limp is charging you down, and I think that might just be his death. They've got the Avatar, Sonic Wave as well.
Yep, that burst.
And they found Jirax.
Not done.
How? Somehow they knew he was there, but I'm not sure how with a toss.
Dire ward. Yeah,
that lane
ward.
ward? Wow.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Wow.
Radiant's middle tower.
They've caught Liquid here. They've caught them. Tiny Wisp combo for Ninjas in Pyjamas definitely working out for them.
It's going very well so far. Limp is probably not in danger here. The Fisher alone is not going to be enough, but he's going to pressure the tower alone with that double damage. And again, they are leading in kills so far, and they do seem to have map control. It's funny how Liquid, they keep throwing bodies at them, and they keep... It looks like they're losing these skirmishes, and they have these 2 deep wards in the jungle that are extremely well placed in terms of like counter positioning. But they're not getting anything out of it. It seems like because they're not winning the fights. And now the result is that Era has his Aghanims, and even then, the Necro's still ahead in farm. Oh man, I really wish he got a Midas this game, Durga. If he had a Midas and not drums, even a lot of Ados, I think this game would have progressed differently in terms of the fights. Yeah,
because then you would have been able to, you know, jump yourself around and actually go and fight. Matoma has spent a lot of time down in bottom lane. He's barely moved away from it. He's going to the jungle a little bit, but I'm going to smoke up here and maybe bait out the Necro. Nope, as I say it, Necro goes back down to bottom lane. Matoma needs to farm a little bit more. The rest of them will go into the enemy jungle, and they know where Era is. They know he's here. They know he's alone for now. 2 heroes mid. Wisp is back at base. He's going to TP towards the mid tier too. And I'm not sure they've got the jump here. With the Wisp ready behind Era, this is not the kill they go for. Jonas, maybe they try and find this one. Splinter Blast is there. He's got hookshot to try and jump himself back, and he's going to cogs Fata in with him.
Oh no.
A cage of his own design.
Seal Kid, no.
What happened? Oh,
that is not what he intended to do.
Oh, did he blinding light?
Yeah, he blinding lighted Fada right into the 4-staff Jonas fan. He was good. He went down the high ground into the river and he cogged. So if they walked in, they would have just gotten cogged. And Seal Kid's like, oh, nope, I'll send him right with you. And Fada just ends up right in the cage, as you mentioned.
Matoma, he's already used his blink, and yeah, he is dead. Fully.
Matu, I was wondering what item he was going to go next, and he purchased up a Staff of Wizardry. He might go 4-staff with it, recognizing the positional need for this game, and uh-oh, Fada.
They've gone back up
or should I say Hanskin, and NiP in general.
Era is cursed up with Echo Slam onto Hanskin. Okay, the Wisp, he's taken out, and they'll probably get Era as well on the back end of this one. Turns back to try and fight, but that's a massive kill. Fata gets himself a good 600 or so gold with that, and his SNY is completed. But I'm not sure it's enough to turn this around, you know. Take a look at overall net worth lead. NiP are only 3,000 ahead, and I guess that's, you know, indicative of what you were talking about. The fact that Matu has been farming a lot. He's now 3rd place in net worth, but Fata has made up for that. Oh god, down at bottom lane, mind control. Orchid, that's the reveal. Limp, the debut of that silence, actually plays a big part in the kill on Earthshaker there. TP's back, there's just TP's back and forth. They want to kill Jax up atop, and it shouldn't be a difficult takedown. I don't even need to expend hookshot for this one. Let us walk in, wait for the Illuminate to finish him off. Yeah, Seal Kid will take the kill and take all the glory. Killing spree for your Kotal.
He's got Axe.
Oh god.
This is where the game changes, yeah. He can heal during the daytime, which is huge. 500 heals for a Wisp is almost like 1,000 for the Tiny, basically. If they play this right here on out, I don't think Liquid are going to find the timing. They do have the heroes to scale into late game for sure, between the Necro, the Wyvern, as well as the Razor. But they will definitely have to be careful on the side of Liquid, because now the variables on NiP between the Orchid as well as the Ags on the Keeper of the Light, there's just more options to play. And again, Matuma, man, I don't know what he's going to do with the staff. I think Force is definitely not a bad idea, given how he wants to play out this game. But the first critical item this game is going to be the BKB on either side. Whether it's the Necro BKB, the Razor BKB, or the Queen of Pain BKB. Because BKB extends the life of all these heroes in this game by so much. Because everybody's just got magical damage on magical damage.
Yeah, definitely. But when we look at NiP, you know, Queen of Pain, obviously, with the Orchid now building into the Aghanim Scepter, she's going to be a relatively good target for the Reaper Scythe. But do you think you want to save that for the Tiny?
I think, honestly, this is one of those games you want to Reaper Scythe anybody. Like, all those heroes are very important. I'd say minus the Clockwork, I would say. And even the Clockwork, it's okay because the Reaper Scythe, how it works right now is you just want it for the Sadist proc. So your hero doesn't die in the fight. Because once you get like 10, 20 charges, you're like an Alchemist for the time being, right? Or like Scorched Earth Doom, where you're just regenerating too much for them to kill you in that burst. And that's a really, really big deal for a hero like Necro, because Necro is a hero that just wants to extend the fight as long as possible in order to win. And with the Reaper Scythe on any target, he can do that.
Spam Death Pulse over and over.
Exactly, exactly. Honestly, it's I would say it's not even Death Pulse. It's the deceptive amount of damage that Heartstopper does. In like every team fight that lasts more than 10 seconds, heroes are losing anywhere between 100 to 300 HP, depending on the HP they have. It's crazy.
He's still saving up a ton of gold here now, 2,000 saved up. Still unsure where he's heading with this one. Mind Control, Blink Dagger is, what, 900 gold away. And he desperately needs this. 21 minutes, it's getting late in the day. You know, we've seen 13-minute, 12-minute offlane Earthshakers get their Blink Dagger around that time. 20 minutes is sort of the norm when you give your Earthshaker a little bit of guaranteed farm time. Oh god, they're going in mid again. Jonas, he's going to force himself away and there's no catch here. Nothing to keep up the distance.
It's the infamous Tombstone gank.
Drop tomb, get him. Get him.
Those usually don't go well, but as seen, demonstrated.
In the meantime, you know, Tiny just takes a tier 2 for free. They're running around like hairless chickens trying to find this. If Earthshaker has Blink there, if they get the Fissure, then okay, it's a kill. More likely than not. And the reaction would be a relocate in from Hanskin and Era. But, oh, I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is what I meant when I mentioned that NiP has more variables. They have more split push, they have more out push, they have more map control with this lineup in general at this point. They're going to scout out Mind Control now, or should I say they scout out Jonas fan.
Oh, the Sonic Wave's going to be big across 3. The Reaper Scythe not enough as he's healed up. And Fata running into the middle of things here. Silken gets a dominating streak as he takes down the Earthshaker. Matu, you've got Blink in 2 seconds, but it's not fast enough as Era gets that avalanche down. Now, Hanskin relocates back down to bottom lane. But Liquid, they're just losing hero after hero. You know, it's not a full team wipe, it's not a massive loss, but it's just that little chip. NiP are just chipping away at Liquid, and their morale is going to be dropping.
Yeah, it's weird for me to... It's weird to see it this way. Like, they keep throwing bodies at each other, you know what I mean? Like, it really does feel like that. And then the kill board is like 9 to 16. It's not too much. It's not that little either. But it just seems like bodies are just being thrown at each other left and right, and for some reason not all the ultimates are being used. Like Jerax, he didn't get to use his winner's curse there. I'm not sure if it was on cooldown, I don't think so. And the way they initiated on the clockwork, it was like it was already so deep into the enemy territory and they didn't see where the Wisp and Tiny were, or rather they saw them at bot and they recognized the potential of the relocate. So it's either like not respecting what the enemy can throw at them, or they're kind of just like going, you know, they just see a color and they chase it. And it's costing them. It's like a, honestly, it's like a pub style, you know, where they just see a hero, they just want to go and fight. And I feel like Liquid, they definitely have the lineup to make it happen, but it was way too deep into the enemy territory, even with the nice ward placed there.
Hey, there's Wisp, let's go. Hey, there's Tiny, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. That's what it is, honestly. It's how you play Dota sometimes, and it works because the other enemy team will do the exact same thing.
I think they need to calm down a little bit. Get Mind Control his Blink Dagger. You don't need to keep running in and in.
Yeah. Really wants his 11 plus Blink.
Well, Jonas, he's getting his way into Aghanim Scepter after the 4 staff. Limp, his Ags, 1400 away. But Ninjas in Pyjamas, they haven't really, you know, taken control of the map, it feels. They've taken towers, yes, but they haven't kind of stopped Liquid from farming. It's Liquid that's been doing it themselves, which maybe is the reason they don't have any big aggressive wards deep in the jungle. It's all been about safeguarding their own farm, you know, watching for top lane, watching for river movement out from Team Liquid. But just take a look, tier 1 mid is still standing. Neither team really is excellent at taking down Roshan. The Tiny's, you know, he's got a lot of damage, he can get in there with the Wisp. But with the amount of AoE from Liquid, it's always going to be rough actually going into a choke point like that. But
yeah. They definitely want to take like a good engagement or force the enemy heroes top like with like 2 to 3 TPs or something before they do any Rosh objective based movement. It's a team fight to be respected on the side of Liquid. They still have a ridiculous amount of AoE, and as you said, they haven't fully taken control of the map this game, and you can see that even with Liquid dying the way they are. They're dying in the enemy woods.
Yeah.
It's like in World War II, man. You know, Germans lost, but you know they never touched German territory.
The trenches were too far out.
Yeah, that's right.
So Liquid,
you gotta keep that in mind.
Liquid setting up the western front in the enemy jungle. Hanskin, Era up at top. Looking for someone, but there's no one here. They're pinging out, but Liquid already out. And they have a gem, yeah. Silkid, Aghanim's gem, running around and dewarding now, and this is where they start. This is where they actually begin to really make their mark on this game, because you've got Era with AC, Aghanim Scepter, 2,000 gold saved up as well on top of all of that.
Yeah.
And Matu, wait a second. What's he got? Oh, he's got Ags nearly done. So we've got BKB.
Okay, so he went for the Aghanims.
Yeah. BKB Razor. Double Shadow Amulet, actually, over on... So one on Jirax and one, I guess, on Kuro?
Radiant's top
Or am I
tower
imagining
is under
things?
attack.
Yeah, they're both getting Glimmer Capes. Yep, 2 Glimmer Capes. A healthy addition to the fight. Again, a lot of NiP's damage, a lot of damage coming out from both teams is just magical. So if they get the Glimmer on the right target at the right moment, at the opportune moment, it might just repel enough damage to save their cores or something. And Matuma Man, with the, as you mentioned, with the Aghanim Scepter, Axe is like never a bad item on Necro, you know, you can get it at any point. Just so long as it's not your absolute first item, it's good no matter what.
Well, Olymp. There we go. Pure damage galore. Level 16, Aghanim's up. Roshan. Oh, whoa, this is risky, I think. This is risky. Liquid, they're smoked up already. Preemptive movement across towards the Roshan pit. And it's just not falling fast enough. Jonas walks himself up, but Blink Echo, they're going to take one target out of the fight already, but the Reaper Scythe clears him up, and they're going to run into the Roche pit. Fata has his BKB up. Hanskin, you're stuck! You're going to die here already with Era cursed up with a tombstone up on the high ground. This is not the fight they wanted. Not like this. NiP, not like this. Limp on the run out, he'll blink away, but they've got full control, and Liquid are doing it. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist.
That's... Again, I don't know, man. Like,
we knew.
Yeah, no obs words. No obs words. They have the call, of course, but BKBs came out. They didn't check the items. Tier 1 tower is not down. The Roshan's slow. They had to get picks. Force TPs to top or something. That, well, I mean, I'm just going to look at the graph to see how much that turned. It didn't seem like it turned that much. I'm not sure if it's updated yet, but that is the game-changing fight right there.
That's the one Liquid have been waiting for. I guess it's easy with, you know, the bird's eye perspective we have and seeing things going, but you know, that Roshan fight...
I don't know, like, they should have recognized that they can't take a pit fight. The position for the Undying Tombstone and the Wyvern Curse is way too good. I don't know. I can't agree with that Roche call. I think whoever did it was a kind of a... It wasn't well crafted as a thought. I don't know. That should not have happened, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe they thought they had a little more damage behind them and could take it a little bit easier. But, you know, Fata's BKB being able to just run into the thick of things, that really was what stuck it to NiP. And Hanskin going for a Glimmer Cape after Vlad's. Interesting stuff. There's no stuns again. Oh god! But the damage was nearly there from Kuroki. But nothing to stop the TP. The like you said, the patented Tombstone gank. Run in, try and get it down.
It works on a Wisp. She has 900 HP. Doesn't work on any other hero though.
Oh, Jirax. He hasn't been spotted just yet. He's done very well to hide. Jonas hook shot off the mark, and the Winter Wyvern flaps her wings over the trees and far away. But they de-ward. They get rid of the Observer Ward, and things will be right with the world again. Now, does Clock have Ags yet? Still a fair distance away.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, NiP's item progression is going to be somewhat halted with that, and Arrow is going an item I've never seen on Tiny before. Literally never. Like aside from like pub experiences or something, he's going on Death later on Tiny. This I do not know about, to be completely frank with you. I think he really needs BKB, and BKB with Wisp is not an item you always want to get, because sometimes he doesn't tether you in time and you BKB and you're just a Tiny with BKB. You're no longer a Wisp with Overcharge plus BKB. But he needs it this game. There's way too much magical burst, way too much disable Shaker Wyvern as well as the Necrophos. And for him to go with Deso, it's like if they don't win the next fight they take with this Death later, their item progression is gonna be completely halted, I feel like. I
thought you were joking. When you said Tiny's doing Deso, I saw the Mithril Hammer and I was like, he's kidding, right? It's a BKB, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's a...
I don't know. It's very all-in-y. It's not an item that scales,
for sure,
especially for a fast farming hero like Tiny. So they have to win the next fight. And it's my biggest question is like, it's a 3.5k item that it doesn't help them win the fight any better, you know? Like the Tiny with a Desolator will maybe take 4 hits instead of 3 to kill a target that he's going for, or pardon me, 3 hits instead of 4. And with the Overcharge, I feel like that's a negligible difference. So I really don't know.
Maybe they're looking at, you know, towers and racks and things like that, because one of the things that NiP especially with this Tiny Wisp like to do, is a sort of bait and switch where they pretend to go and fight, and then Era with Hanskin, they'll go and TP to a tier 3 and backdoor it, or shove themselves in.
Right. Yeah, so they want minus armor for the buildings. Is that...
I think...
Again, even then though, like, to rely on that mindset or playstyle, you've already like defeated half of your purpose as Wisp Tiny, I feel like. Because the split push is definitely the other half. Like, it's very strong, very potent. But I'm not sure if they're going to see the light of day to have that. And I guess they kind of realized that the Liquid's team fight is superior at this point, and it most certainly is. But I don't think giving up the fight is the correct call, because Liquid's not a team that's going to give you a chance to just relocate into base and take 2 Raxes. Yeah, playing for it, I guess it's not bad, but I don't know. I don't know if this Desolator is actually going to come to see the play that he's looking for.
Yeah, well, it's a ballsy move now from Liquid as they smoke up behind Fata. They've still got Aegis for, what, about a minute? Less than a minute? 45 seconds or so until that one expires, and they want to make full use of this.
Hanskin's going to tank the gank. He's going to tank the smoke.
Oh, it tethers across. Fisher.
Oh,
not
no,
there
he didn't.
in time.
Okay, yeah, he ended up...
I've got the curse. Okay, the commitment there onto the poor little Wisp with the Reaper Scythe, and he's dead for
This is push. This is a push. Yes.
A minute and a half without the Wisp. That's a pretty big deal. So now, not only do they not have the split push with the Tiny Wisp, look at them. NiP are desperate. They are scrambling to take tier 2s, trying to push bottom lane. But the death ball is here with Matu, Jirax, Fata, and Kuroki.
Oh, and you
they're
know
on
what?
the tier 3.
It's not in place, so they can't kill the creep wave either. He doesn't have a TP ready to go yet, and so Era's gonna do it. You know what? The Desolator might come to see its play right here.
Onto the tier 3. Let's see what trade they can get. They're TPing down to the up to the top lane. Limp, he's gonna die. The Soul Rip is through, and they kill off the Queen of Pain. Not alive, not with buyback. 70 seconds until the Queen of Pain can come back. But bottom lane, Era is trying to be recalled back, but the TP will be there. They don't have an ulti, no stun, and no curse, and no Rax kill. Oh, Matu, really? You dodger. Gets out of the way of that hook shot coming from Jonas's clockwork.
Yeah, you know, if Fata pushes out one more wave here, he has 6k gold here already. I don't see why they don't just go again. They might potentially be able to force a quad buyback. Actually, no, the lanes are pushed out too deep, so probably not. But it's a good time. And then again, if they do that, that's when NiP I think has the opportunity to do their fancy relocate play. Because with the Desolator, I think the Tiny can actually kill the Rax through the backdoor protection.
Well, Matsumba man. Plate mail for the Shiva's Guard, I'm guessing. Just get that little bit of armor. Great for slowing down the Tiny as well. The attack speed's slow. Going to be vital up against him. But Silicid has 2,000 gold saved up, and something we often see from Kottels with the sort of Ags rush is then go into something like a Hex. Now just go for that disable.
They could do that. I think this game caters more towards 4-staffs and blinks, because you just want to be around the map, and there is. It's actually a 4-staff. It's really good with 4-staff. The Kotl base defense with 4-staff is like, you know when you played against techies last patch? Like, sometimes you can't push on techies because not only are there remote mines, but there's mines that you have low range heroes where you get forced into the mines and you just die.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kotl's kind of like that. You mana leak them and you force them in, or you force them in, mana leak them. They can't run very well. So it's very annoying with the 4-staff.
Era's going to go for the Moonshard now, I think. Another Hyperstone picked up, and he just wants attack speed, minus armor, and tower killing potential right now. And, you know, Era, one of the more significant Tiny players out there, especially for the past year or so. You know, it's definitely his signature hero. Coupled up with his Hanskin Wisp, he knows what he's doing. And
oh yeah, for sure. I have been somewhat critical of the Desolator pickup, but judging the game, I think he looked at it and just said, okay, we're not fighting into that anymore, because that fight is ridiculously hard. And you know, looking on it now, I think I agree. I think this was the best call. Just going for that rat style, where you can just try to take Raxes if they try to force objectives.
They've got the hook shot onto Kuro. Glimmer Cape is there. Do they have reveal? They can't see him, and Kuro just turns around and decays, and there we go. 2 hits down, slammed by the Tiny with a Moonshard. They're going to relocate themselves back, it looks like. Yeah, Hanskin up towards his own jungle. But Fata has AC. So they've got S and Y BKB AC on your Razor with 2,200 gold. The utility from Earthshaker with his Blink Force. Matu has Shiva's Guard completed now, right? Yeah, on its way out. So they've tanked themselves up a hefty amount. And while Tiny doesn't have BKB, the Queen of Pain does now. So that's going to be great against this Reaper Scythe from Matumba Man. But like you said, I was asking who's their target. They're just throwing it onto anyone they see first. But, oh, NiP. This is ballsy. There's a Dar Observer ward that will spot them. And I think it
Oh,
will
they're
see
going against the
Silkid
grain
now.
on each other, yeah. But you know what? It's gonna be NiP's win for this year because they have to port back like all the heroes basically. They cannot let Tiny they cannot base trade against the Tiny. The Tiny does way too much damage.
Oh god, they just miss! Perfect smoke from Liquid allows them to TP themselves back. But that hook shot
were they
was...
trying to cancel TPs?
Yeah. They'll lose
really
Jirax here, but basically they smoked themselves up and TP'd in this area. Rocket Flare came across, but obviously, you know, they didn't quite see them. The pings came out, and the hook shot was a fraction away from landing onto the Earthshaker. But still...
Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah.
Liquid get themselves back.
Yep. They're smoking out again, so they're taking control of their woods. And this Roshan cannot be any more favorable for them, right? Because it's just about to spawn, if I'm looking at this correctly. There it is.
Yeah,
oh,
Roshan.
Handskin left the pit already, though. He tethered out to his Tiny. Uh-oh. Are Liquid
Liquid?
going to scout that?
No, they're not going in just yet. Not seeing it. But they are still without their Winter Wyvern, and that is definitely one of the bigger ultis out there. Hanskin, there's a gem just waiting around on the floor here. I guess he drops his TP, picks up the gem. NiP, they are grouping themselves all up towards the top lane, except for Limp, who's alone down in the Radiant jungle. He sees Mind Control, he pings him out, but there's a Razor over to the side. I'm not sure Limp has the damage for this. There's Force Staff, there's Relocate in, Mind Control. He's got Shadow Strike on him.
Ulti, though.
They've got Echo Slam. Oh, he fishes first.
There you go.
The rest of the team's going to come in with Matu. The blink away from Limp will get him to somewhat safety. No! Jirax flies over the top of him and doesn't get the curse down. While Era's pushing top. They kill off that Earthshaker. Now Era, he's got no Wisp to save him. He turns to fight. Avalanche toss. There's Jirax dead. What? No, he's not. Ooh, the Reaper side, the 106 seconds.
Gosh.
Liquid.
Era, just throw.
They've got a chance now. They've got a window. The tier 3 mid's on 138 health. If they can just shove down mid, they've got a Rax, I think.
I think they will. Even though Fada doesn't have mana, I'm not sure if it matters. He's just going to use one Plasma and one Static Link. His ulti is down anyway. He committed for that tier 2 tower through the glyph and through like multiple TPs. Holy smokes, wow.
With no Wisp as well.
Yeah, that's...
He wanted that tier 2 so badly.
Yeah, he really did, actually.
Actually, speaking about it, they're picking it out now. Roshan's up, so they're not going to shove mid and go for that. They know Tiny's dead for a long time. So contest here from NiP is going to be lackluster and sort of half-assed if they do
Actually,
go in for this.
I think they should go for the base here because 60 seconds as well as the AoE damage again. Like both teams have really good magic damage, and Quap has the Sonic Wave, BKB. They can actually fight the pit. At the very least, they can spam it out with Rocket and... Oh, I guess they're not going to go for it, huh? No Illuminates, no Sonic Waves.
No. And he's going to get Fata that Aegis once again. He's got himself an Ultimate Orb. I'm guessing Skadi for him. No reason to go Linken's. A Hex would be interesting on the Razor.
Hex will be okay, but I think Skadi's just as good this game. I mean, Razor with Skadi, SNY, and AC. It's such a strong inventory no matter how you see it, right? So...
Yeah, and kiting the Tiny is something that's imperative for Liquid right now.
Yeah.
So he's just slow him down, slows attack speed, his movement speed, make sure that he can't get up onto a target. And with his, he's got Moonshard AC, he's got attack speed, he's got tons of minus armor. If he gets onto Jirax's Winter Wyvern, he just chunks him down in 2 or 3 hits with the Avalanche toss there as well. Limp, hiding. Oh, look at that mind control. He knows he's around here somewhere, but he's not going to find the target he was looking for.
Still caught up nicely to his farm. I mean, at the end of the day, an Earthshaker really just needs Blink, Mana, and Force. With Force being just cherry on top more than anything else. If he can, it would be nice to get level 16 as well, but he's gonna do more than enough in the fight so long as he gets the right jump. Now, pings are coming out with NiP movements in their own woods, and they're kind of 5, so it's going to allow Fada to push up bottom freely. I mean, he has Aegis, so I don't think he has a worry in the world about no relocate gank either.
Yeah, they saw the Winter Wyvern actually in their jungle, and he did a perfect movement into the trees to TP himself out. So Jirax gets away scot-free. He didn't really accomplish anything apart from just getting intel, knowing there's 3 or so heroes around in the enemy jungle. But objective-wise, NiP, there's no tier 2s. There is one actually towards middle lane, full HP. But that's not really what they aim for. You know, they want side lanes, the bot racks are naked, there's nothing guarding them. That's what they're going to be looking at. So Sealkid, I think, will just try and shove the wave bot with rocket flares, helping out a little bit as well. But Liquid, they're going to realize, you know, top lane, they can defend this tower with one hero, mind control, Jirax, someone, just get yourself up there, while the rest of them focus down on bottom lane. But there's one thing they're missing. There's no BOTs on anyone. Oh, that's a lie. Sorry.
Yeah,
Necro,
Matumba has
Necro,
one.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good with Neck, and I think he realized that he has to be there to push out the lanes. Like this, as you mentioned with top, like when this happens, NiP, they start recognizing it and play more carefully. And again, with the Aghanims plus Gemma on Coddle, it's like the Day Stalker. He kind of just sees everything, so.
Yep. Omniscient Keeper of the Light. Silkid. This is very aggressive. This is very aggressive. I knew they wanted to shove this wave pretty hard, but Sonic Waves, Illuminates, they've got 3 heroes down here trying to do this as well.
Yep. They're up against an Aegis as well, so you're absolutely right that it's very aggressive. I also think it's necessary movement, because right now this split between the 3 heroes bottom and Wisp Tiny elsewhere is really, really efficient for them. They're just getting more out of the map, and I think you can start to see it now too with the gold distribution. The top 6, 4 of them are dominated by NiP, although above and ahead are Fada and Matumba Man to an extent. So they're playing this well, NiP. They're bringing it back after some unnecessary deaths and the Roshan fight. I thought it was going to be really, really bad from there on out, but again, with the choices of the split push as well as the good splitting coming out of them right now with the 3-2, they're making the most of their map and slowly picking up where they left off.
Yeah, and then you've got to look at sort of the usefulness of heroes with certain amounts of farm. The Wisp, he can stack himself up pretty nicely, but the Keeper of the Light has vital items, and with the Force Staff, like you mentioned, he's got that. It's a little bit more mobility. Whereas heroes like Undying, he's going for the Aghanim Scepter. He's got Glimmer Arcanes, which, you know, somewhat...
Oh, and there's a hook.
Where? Down the bottom lane? Oh, yeah, you're right. We'll find Jirax here, I think, with the gem. Yeah, they've got vision. They know where he is. That should be an easy kill.
Nice kill, too. He obviously doesn't have buyback, and I don't think they realize that, but again, it gives more room to work around with, because his ultimate being down means that Wisp Tiny can play a lot more aggressive. And if Fada's showing himself like this as well, at mid, then you know there's no harm in pushing top for the time being. But as I say that, maybe it's different. Matumba Man's just chasing aggressively, and there's the relocate bottom. So here's the effectiveness
Echo on 3! They've got them all! Fata, he turns back with the static link, and Era, he's going to be chased down here by the Razor. I don't think he's got an escape out of this unless the Craggy procs. He actually TP's out. Got enough survivability there, and no more stuns from Mind Control. Again, what stuns do they have without the Winter's Curse? They've got Earthshaker, and that's it. He expended
exactly.
everything.
Yes, honestly. You know, in terms of stuns, maybe not the solo catch kind of thing, but in terms of stuns, Earthshaker is honestly more than enough. This hero is a stun machine. He breathes and eats stuns and sleeps stuns, and it's really hard to deal with him without a BKB, honestly. So I think what NiP did there was correct, though. I think the relocate to bottom, when they said Necro's top, he can't get there, I think it was a good move. But Mind Control was completely ready for it, and again, it goes to test to the power of the team fight coming out of Liquid. They have so many big ultimates right now, and even Undying with Tombstone is annoying in the late game now.
Once again, Jonas gets super unlucky. The TP out from Matumba Man down to this bottom lane to aid the push. He missed out on the hookshot by, I don't know, 50 range again. He just keeps getting so close, but never lucky. Never lucky.
Yep. The story of a Clockwork's life.
Scardy now into Butterfly. They know the Tiny's not, probably not going to go MKB this game. It's a difficult item to sort of fit into your item build and progression. Yeah. But he's not got the gold for it either.
I mean, at this point, I think they've just completely given up on killing Fada.
Ags Undying.
Yeah. He's moving at 521 MS. You know, he's actually hasted, perma hasted right now.
Crazy stuff. Speedy little Razor. Now, Ags Undying.
Oh, are they going to go for it, though?
Where, up at top? Oh god, yeah. They've actually found Fata there. BKBs, turns with a static link. Do you really want to fight this? You've got heroes coming in behind you. You've got one hero coming in behind you, but that hook shot in catches both of them. Jonas, now he's lucky. Now he's looking at a great initiation in as Era chases down Fata. The mana leak is there as well. Matu silence, turns back with the BKB, and they want to fight into this. With the cold embrace, Fata kept alive, and Jirax still has the Winter's Curse. They can actually catch out onto Hanskin, onto Tiny, onto both of them, and Hanskin's shredded with a hook shot forward. They're still looking to continue this fight, and Tiny smashes through them both. Both Matu and Fata dead, and that's 4 gone for 1 Wisp. Looking like 5 as Jirax is cleaned up on the side.
Wow, NiP ended up playing that fight so well. That hook by Jonas, holy smokes, that changed everything. Because if that Necro really got his groove off with the BKB going in, just focusing any target he wants with the Reaper's Scythe, I guarantee NiP would have just gotten 5 wiped and chased down. But wow, that hook was crazy.
And now say goodbye to your towers, Liquid. They've got no buybacks. This could honestly be game over. We've seen how quickly Tiny Wisp can take down Rax, and this is gonna be triple lane, right?
Yep. If there's no buybacks, which it looks like there is none on Fada,
oh no, wait,
none on Necro, so that's more than enough.
There's tier 2 mid. Don't worry, there's tier 2 mid. So it's gonna be 2 lanes of Rax, both side lanes. The tier 2 through backdoor regen. Era's Tiny smash.
Wisp is just gonna get Wisp is gonna get relocated by the Coddle here. It's just gonna heal up the Tiny, and they're just gonna overcharge and keep going. 30 seconds on the Razor. 30 seconds, 1 lane of Rax. They can definitely do it if they wanted to. Never mind, they're gonna back on it.
I think if it was daytime, they go for it with the Coddle heal.
Yeah.
Like the fact it's nighttime is just a little bit too risky for them.
Oh yeah, there's no risk in backing whatsoever. They got two lanes of Raxes, all the kills they wanted. This is perfect for them. They can actually just wait out till next Roche, and if it happens that Liquid are trying to do Roche to get back into the game, they can just relocate and split push again. So NiP are infinitely ahead with two lanes of Raxes right now with the Tiny pick. Oh, that was just that fight. Wow. Jonas fan, man, he's carrying this team, dude.
Not 2 minutes earlier, I was saying that he was getting really unfortunate with his hook shots as well, missing out. But that one, my goodness, absolute game changer. And with the cogs to follow up as well, just walks past them, puts the cogs down, blocks off the advance of the rest of the team as well. Because we saw the sort of trickle of Liquid heroes where it was one by one.
They couldn't blink into the positions they wanted to. Jerax came way far from behind, and it allowed the Queen of Pain to do a lot more than he wanted to. Of course, the Wisp got ultied, but it was too little too late. Fada's BKB is already expired. Necro missed his timing on the ultimate. They couldn't find a target because of Glimmered Capes. Like, it was just a really, really good fight for NiP, honestly.
So how many moon shards does Era go for?
Oh, for the longest time, I was wondering what happened to his progression.
Me too.
His money just kept disappearing. I didn't see anything new.
Me too.
Yeah, he actually consumed one and bought another one.
Yep.
That's nice.
Well, I didn't realize either, because, you know, it's in the same slot. You see, like, a moon shard. There it is. Didn't look at the little buff indicators. But, yeah, he ate one and then bought another one.
That's the luxury life.
Just keep on eating them. Keep on eating the moon shards.
Honestly, he's stacked. His inventory's stacked. With the Wisp making him power Tiny, and, of course, the Vlad's on Tiny always helps so much. He's ridiculously huge. He has gone for that BKB. This is going to be a 10-second BKB in that next fight. He's not going to die. I don't think.
They can't touch him.
Yeah.
3,000 HP. It's super rough. Fata needs to finish off that butterfly a little bit faster, but you're still looking at, you know, Kuroki and Mind Control. These two heroes, I feel, they did a good amount in the off lane, but they didn't crush that lane like they were expecting to. You know, NiP, they kind of, top, Fata.
I think them losing the tower was a really big deal because of the misplays and the huge wave buildup. Oh, Fada's TPing.
Oh, Limpa's actually jumped in with the BKB. Jonas as well. Matu, BKB's himself. Runs himself forward as Fata, charging forward onto Limp, but nah, they're not going to catch. There's Mind Control now out of position. They're pushing top very hard. No racks or towers remaining. And Liquid, they know that mid is the target.
Oh, Jonas. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Close, but no cigar. And where are they relocating? Back. They're just relocating back as far away as they possibly can, as quickly as they can. They go and farm the Ancients. It's farming efficiency. Oh, Wisp.
Wisp is dead, though.
I think he is as well. Wait a second.
Oh, they timed it.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was really nice.
NiP. You know, the first time I saw the Shadowblade Wisp, I can't remember who it was, but, you know, that was, like, super surprising. And, oh, God, he's sold an item, bought Shadowblade, and invis himself away. Now with, you know, blinks and glimmer capes and things like that, we see it a little more often. But recalling after relocate. Ninjas and Pyjamas, they've hit their stride, you know? They've got some swagger back in them.
That's an NiP special right there. I mean, Keeper of the Light, definitely a very powerful hero. But, again, they're one of the few teams that pick it as a comfort zone hero, and they're making it work this game, man. I can't see. I have to say I'm very surprised, of course, but they're doing a really good job with it.
Era doesn't need the Desolator anymore. He needs that Aegis instead. So Deso back to the base, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him just sell it. Go into a bigger item when Aegis expires. You know, Boots of Travel's still available if he wants to sell his treads, but like, I'm not sure if he needs the attack speed with the double moonshot anymore. That's something you always have to consider with the Tiny, is keeping treads for the attack speed that it offers you.
Yeah. Now he wishes he had an Alchemist on his team so he can pull him the Aghanims and sell the Axe too.
Oh,
Then
that'd be so good.
A truly 8-slot Tiny.
That would be so good. Well, yeah, what do you think next? You know, BOTZ can go for Butterfly, MKB.
I think Butterfly is good. It gives him everything he wants, and I think generally in the pro scene, it's accepted that Butterfly is the most efficient / effective item on Tiny. Plus, there's no natural MKB buyers on Liquid. So you already have BKB, which repels like 90% of the damage that Liquid's going to throw in. Hey, why not just a Butterfly on top and then just block everything? Become unkillable, truly the invincible.
It looks like Liquid are feeling the pressure a little bit here. They've gone boot to travel level 2 on Fata instead of finishing the Butterfly. Matu links forward, Lincoln's is there. Yeah, they've still got the Reaper Scythe, but Era has got Aegis. Echo Slam forward, Hanskin's dead, Reaper onto him, and Era left without his Wisp. Limp is in the thick of things, but Liquid, they're actually winning this team fight pretty significantly as Era's taken out, first life gone, and hookshot off the mark from Jonas. Can they kill him a second time, though? Wisp dead for 90, BKB 10 seconds up and running with a curse down. Oh god, the damage! Era's dying! He's actually being shredded here by that blinding light. Good to push him back, but he can't last through it. And Jonas, he's on the front lines. He's slowed, stunned, and dead. As Liquid have defended high ground, tier 3 in racks, and you're looking at NiP with a couple of buybacks, but Wisp dead for a full minute now.
Yeah. Okay, I think it was kind of hard to gauge, but I think they had to realize that the Tiny actually can't hit high ground alone right now. He's not strong enough. With Aegis, it's gotten to the point where Tiny needs to be fully 6-slotted to be extremely effective. And if he had Desolator, it wouldn't have changed that fight much. Because what happened was he started getting locked down so much by the stuns coming out of the Earthshaker as well as the slows from the Wyvern that Fada ended up stealing 200 damage from the Tiny. And as soon as the Wisp died, there goes the 70 extra damage from Vlad as well. So overall, that was kind of bold. That was a bold movement coming out. And again, with the Reaper Scythe, this can happen one more time, and it could just very well be GG. Is the Necro getting a refresher? Yeah, he is. He has a refresher.
No.
If he adds ultis 2 people in the next fight, Durga.
Oh man.
Liquid are gonna do it.
Maybe this Lincoln's from the Kotal. He didn't go for the Hex, he went for the Lincolns for this reason exactly. Maybe this can be the game changer. But we're actually looking at refresher on Quap as well. We saw the double ults last fight. Blink forward from Mind Control as they take down tier 3 mid. Now in this situation, Wisper's respawn, Tiny's alive in 10 seconds time. Taking racks here is going to be difficult with the Glyph.
I think they should back.
Time to run.
Well, they're not backing. They want to fight this. They have all their ultimates.
Limp. You've got your Lincolns up with the BKB as well. Fata is blocked in here by the Fisher, but good force staff away. The Sonic Wave, first one out. Limp has to blink out just to make sure he doesn't get caught and killed. But Fata, he's got a ton of HP and it's very difficult to actually bring him down. Matu blinks forward looking for the Scythe. But he's only going to see Seal Kid. Lincoln is up on him, so they can't really get that Scythe down onto him. Hookshot misses off the mark from Jonas, but they kill the Earthshaker. Era jumps in with his Desolate back up. He's got the attack speed, just cleaving through them all. They've taken down one Rax. The melee's still standing, but
he's losing so much damage.
Era slowed, kited, dead. Reaper Scythe, 2 minutes gone. And now Jonas defending base almost on his own. Liquid, the double Reaper.
No.
They've got them both dead for 2 minutes. They've got the mid Rax. And maybe even the game here. Limp is stunned. Oh my god. Limp has to buy back. So does Hanskin. And Liquid is going to go for the tier 4s. They want to end the game. I think maybe they're just going to be able to bring these down and finish it off. Tier 4's dying. There's no glyph. There's nothing left for NiP to give. Hanskin. With the Queen of Pain, you just don't have the damage output. You can blink forward, you can Sonic Wave, you can BKB. They turn and fight. With the static link there, they've got so much damage. Blink away, and Limp is pretty much stuck in his fountain. Refresher is available, but this is disastrous for Ninjas in Pyjamas. They've actually gone in. They've gone all in. They're looking for tier 4s down towards the middle lane, but their throne's already dead. Keeper of the Light, come on. You can defend. Blinding Light, keep them going. Keep them out of your base, but it looks like it's it. Liquid, they've done it. 2-0 win over NiP, but this game, Ninjas in Pyjamas, the double Reaper Scythe, really shutting them down.
Oh my goodness. That just happened.
And this is, you know, not as disastrous as the loss against Alliance.
Oh, Durka, I think this loss is way worse, man.
Really?
Oh my
Well,
gosh!
I mean,
last game,
like
they were in so
in
position
the
to
scenario
win.
it is, you know, I think the Frankfurt Major Qualifier was a little more meaningful, you know, the progression of it.
For sure.